Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa. Just to spoon you will know. If the children crying for starvation, just to spoon. You want to get a news update, brother, to spoon. You want to know what is happening in Moravia, to spoon. Politicians want to make their decision, just to spoon. You want to know what's happening in the ministry, to spoon. To spoon. To spoon. You from Vonjema, Maryland, to spoon. To spoon. If you eat kepa, congratulate my brother, to spoon. You got a spoon TV, you got a spoon radio, to spoon. To spoon. You wanna get a news update, to spoon. What? Yeah. Rastafari. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. Kilibamba, kilibamba, kilibamba. What I want? Yes, what you about today?
Spoon TV. Spoon.
Yes, what you about today?
Spoon. Spoon TV. Spoon.
In a world where the internet drives progress, why should anyone connect? Signal Technologies is bridging Liberia's digital divide with Starlink, bringing high-speed satellite internet to everyone, everywhere. Imagine farmers accessing real-time data, students connected to global classrooms, businesses reaching new markets. This is the internet. It's the gateway to opportunity. Together we're unlocking the we're making digital inclusion a reality. Join the movement.
They give you announce and use it to join their side. If not, you hold yourself to be.
So we're going to look at all of the mechanisms. So we are applauded today. We want to see the majority, let's see the strength. And in legislative politics, where the majority is sometimes, there are sometimes there are issues. If they are not right, there are other ways that we can solve it. So we have a responsibility to leadership to see how we
Yes, I, a special one from the CEO, stand coming with the spoon. And your boy, Friday the Southern Band, charges on the beat.
On the spoon to get your information. On the spoon to be part of our discussion. Spoon, spoon, spoon television. Spoon, spoon, spoon radio station.
Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Liberia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Monrovia. Spoon gonna tell you what is happening in Africa.
Oh yes, Spoon is going to tell you what's happening in Liberia. Spoon will tell you what's happening in Africa, what the policymakers are doing, what the issues are in the news every single day. And of course, this is where we get to talk Liberia. This is where we bring you the issues as they unfold every single day. Welcome to this edition of the program. This is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. I want to welcome everyone tonight. My name is Nelson Colette, and the rest of the team will come on tonight. It's going to be a great conversation, a lot to talk about tonight. And of course, yes, tune to Spoon. Share the program as you come on. Many thanks to you following us via the radio tonight on Spoon FM 107.5, Fabric Radio 101.1, and other frequencies across the country tonight. Thanks to our online audience on Facebook, YouTube, Spoon TV, Fabric TV, Super TV, and Spoon Talk Live, our YouTube handle. We appreciate everyone for coming on tonight. Let's hope we can have a great conversation. And I want to recognize a few of you joining us tonight. Ma Brown, that's Tim Pa from Riverside County, Lavette Bondo, our dear sister, Hipko Kazi, Moses Momolu, Bob Akwewala. Yes, please share the program as you come on tonight. Freeman, our dear sister, thanks for joining us tonight. Parker P, Salied, Joseph Moses, thanks for coming on tonight. Eric McGill, Adam Abuakai, Sharif, thanks for coming on. Thomas Kumen, I see Hashim Fambo there. Eddie Kawa, Eric McGill is here tonight. Thanks to all of you for joining us from your respective locations. Lord Powers, George Dix is here tonight. Edwin Zopon has joined us. Thanks to everyone. Let's hope we can have a great show tonight. A lot to talk about. Liberia as a country is making progress. And sometimes it depends on where you sit, you know, which side of the table you find yourself, and all of that. But Liberia is making progress. And it seemed like yesterday when a lot of people spoke about a new government being sworn into power, but come to think about it, it's been 9 months, just 2 days to make it 9 months since the government took office. We've gone 9 months, and once inauguration is over, the next thing is governance, the process of making sure that the country is governed and every citizen playing their respective roles very well to ensure that you get the kind of result you're looking for too. The opposition communities obviously will keep pushing the government's feet to fire. So the opposition community pushing the government's feet to fire, making sure that government, the ruling establishment, live up to some of the promises that was made during the campaign period. Obviously, that's a time of promises. That's the period where a lot of promises get to be made. And then following that, the government is soon in. And the next thing is everyone is looking forward to seeing what the new administration brings to the table, how the government gets to deliver on those different promises that were made every single step along the way. So this is just where we find ourselves. And it's important that we take a look at all of those different issues and have the conversation going on, whether to criticize the government to make sure the right things are done, or to commend the government where the government is doing well. You know, whatever the case is, just making sure that we just making sure that, all right, so just making sure that we push the government's feet to fire to ensure that the right things are done. Sorry, I'm trying to get multiple things coming on here. So yes, so this is where we are, and we want to say welcome. Thanks to everyone for joining us again, and please share the program as you come on. Let's hope we can have a great conversation here tonight. Just to move to some of the updates. Last evening we were here We've been having this conversation. There's been um, developments, more updates coming up on this unfolding at the legislature. Well, the ruling establishment has been speaking. The government has been speaking, touching on the different aspects of this whole report, the legislators, especially so those at the House of Representatives. Some of them have been coming up, trying to speak to the issue, clearing their names. Last evening, we pulled up the statement from the ANC condemning everything that's happening up Capitol Hill. But individual lawmakers have started to speak on this issue. And this is where we are now. One of those who spoke out, as you know, yesterday we updated you about the situation where the 47 names or list individuals dropped to 41, and even the lawmaker who made the disclosure did say that the number though dropped to 41, but that was just the actual number of people who were in the meeting that they held. That in fact, once those other lawmakers come back to the country, they will be making their positions clear. One of those he mentioned was the district number 8 representative, Prince Toll. Prince Toll, on the other hand, did speak to the press today. He did speak to the media. He did a write-up talking about providing his own side to this particular allegation of 15,000, and that he received his own some of the money for the removal of the speaker. We're going to be bringing that to you as well, plus a lot of other issues across the country. Most of you, especially who follow Spoon, must have seen a write-up from Madam Lida Pukuyu. She used to be the Secretary General of the Liberia Business Association, LIBA. She did a write-up where she's taking a bold step, asking President Joseph Yuma Boakai to afford her the opportunity to serve her country. She did she addressed an open communication, an open letter to the office of the president, saying that she wants to be the next commerce minister. She went to line up why she wants to be the next commerce minister, especially following the resignation of Mr. Amin Moda as Minister of Commerce. We're gonna go through that communication. We're gonna make some analysis around it as well. It is an orthodox approach. This is something that a lot of people that will be strange to a lot of people, because so many people would say that the president sits from a distance, he watches everything that's happening, and he makes decisions. He makes selections as to who becomes the next minister, the next deputy minister. And so in the Liberian society, it's rare. And this is what she has done for a citizen of the country to address a communication to the president, telling the president, this is me. This is my plan for this particular ministry, this particular sector. This is what I intend to do. And these are my qualifications. These are the different trainings I've gone through, and I want to be. We're going to make some analysis around that as well. Plus a lot of other issues happening across the country. But let me bring the guys on. I see Josh Wheeler is here tonight. Josh, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. And I also see our brother Moba Zoka has joined us tonight. Mr. Zoka, thanks for joining the show. It's good to have you on tonight. And it's a great thing that we can come on to talk Liberia and have a great conversation tonight on this edition of the program. So again, Uh, welcome to the show, Josh and Boba. Since you guys are here, I just want you to do your opening 1 minute each, and then we can go into the rest of the conversation. Starting with you, Josh, and then we can go to
Oh,
Moba.
look, thank you, Nelson. And look, I want to thank our listener for joining us again. And I want to thank Mr. Zokia for coming as well. And those who will follow. Look, Nelson, I just want to be grateful to God that if if we had lived without the presidency of President Boakai, it would be something like what happened to the late Bronskin. Would be like the best. He could have been the best president or something else. But now we're in the era of President Boakai at the leadership of the Republic of Liberia, and we still look forward to his leadership. We see that you can see no hay, no tay. The only thing we see is in a fighting, which is disgraceful, and we hope that President Boakai will wear his big boy pants, to lead this nation. Because Nelson, I will say this every time I come on air, that what is happening, it is not without the president's input. President Boakai knows about exactly what is going on. He knows exactly what it is for. He knows what he wants from this thing. It never happens in isolation of any presidency. We all know the history of Liberia and the politics at the Capitol Hill. We know that what the president wants is what happens there. And all those people that were ousted as speakers, everything was masterminded by the president in power. And I know people will come in and say, "Oh, you removed Cabinet Janet." And it was George Weah, who engineered it. Cabinet Janet was a completely different thing. Completely different thing. Removing him did not have anything to do with President Weah. For the fact that President Weah did not have anything to gain from removing him. For the fact that he was removed did not change anything. Even the ruling that came from the Supreme Court during the election time of 2017, he dissented, but still majority took it. So we cannot sit here and continue to play a blind eye to the reality. So I think President Boakai needs to stand up. He needs to say something about what is happening. This is a national crisis we're in, and without the legislature being in order, the government is crippled, because everything that happens in this government must come through the legislature. So if the lower house is in crisis, the country is in crisis. So President Boakai needs to speak up. He needs to come to the air and clear the air what he wants out of this, what he's looking forward to achieve, and what he wants his fellow countrymen or his fellow partisan in the legislature to do, to make sure that we have a peaceful Liberia, because Liberia is all we got. Thank you, Nancy.
Yeah, Moba, let's hear you.
Yeah,
Your
thank you,
opening.
Nancy. George, how you doing, brother? How was your day today?
Yeah.
Good. And thank you to our listener. And we want to say welcome to the Spoon Talk, as usual. Yeah, look, we will come here, we say what we want to say, because everybody got right to the entire to what they want to say or stuff. But I will always stand my ground and say, first of all, the president not control nobody. Everybody in the House of Representatives are full grown people who have family. They take decisions on their own. They don't wait for the president to tell them, say, go impeach somebody, then they go impeach. If the president was having that voice, then the speaker he was championing that speaker at that time, Rachel Kuhn could be the speaker now. So we shouldn't come here and put blame on the president about grown men who leading the House of Representatives doing what they want to do to please themselves. And then you say the president do this, the president, and we hear people keep talking president, where the president will take money from and just keep dishing it out to people to go take somebody who working along with him. Sometimes when you want to fix the politics, fix it the right way. Don't come and say the president do this, the president do that the president the cause because giving money out to people to go and vote against the speaker. That is wrong. We shouldn't condone that, because there is no fact in it. There's no truth. There's no truth. So we're not sit there and allow that lies. The president had nothing to do it. What is going in the House of Representatives? He had nothing. His hands is clean. It left with them what they want to do. Let them do it. When the outcome come in of the day, the president work with whosoever will be whosoever they want for it to be that leader in the house. And first of all, the house itself has lost its integrity by going outside the Capitol building and talking about voting outside the Capitol for the very first time. Why you never voted? Why you never go in the chamber and vote? So the whole thing about the whole saga thing, will keep talking one thing over and over. And the president had nothing to do with what is going on. So for me, I will stand by the president, and I will say it today, and I will say it tomorrow. The president had no hand in what is going on. The representative that what they want to do, let them do it to get whatsoever they want to get, 15,000, 20,000, 25,000 is their own interest.
Thank you, Moba. You know, this was just for the opening, and I want us to get into the conversation now. A lot has been happening in just in the last few hours, or about 24 hours since we last came on here on the late night show. Well, the speaker is engaging. The speaker is engaging. Representative Yeka Koluba is back in the country, and he's being vocal. Information is that he's having a press conference tomorrow, and he has disclosed that he's on the side of the speaker. He's going to be speaking to the press tomorrow. The Unity Party, let me put it this way. The independent bloc that is seeking the removal of the speaker have also been having some real engagements. Some of their members are speaking out now. The likes of Representative Prince Toes, he's speaking out. Why this is happening? The CDC had a press conference today, addressed by the Secretary General Jefferson Kochi, and he's meditating. And I'm going to play just a portion of this because this is very important. We're going to start the conversation from here, and we'll talk about the issue raised by Leader Pukuyu. Madam Pukuyu wants to be the next commerce minister, and she has pitched an open communication to the president. And I think, this is something to make some analysis around. Is it a usual thing in our country where people wanting to serve in particular positions will do an open communication to the president? And of course, but I want us to start the conversation with this, folks. Let me play a portion of this particular engagement today by the CDC chairman. This is Koji right here.
We see in a different situation, but because of their far-sightedness and their gallantry, today we find ourselves. The political leader, His Excellency Dr. George Manwia, we want to commend him for his swift leadership.
For some reason, the audio is very low.
Oh, okay. And we also want to follow all of our CDC lawmakers, all of them. Those who
is it okay now?
Yeah,
it's okay.
A warning: do not participate into Boaca conspiracy, into Boaca legislative coup d'etat, because it is worrisome. We do not participate into such thing like that. Political leader called, and there was a miss and giving rumor about the deputy speaker. Today, it was a powerful delegation after a very powerful meeting, which of course the deputy speaker attended, lawmakers attended, decisions will be reached in our meetings. A delegation will be set up to meet the deputy speaker. We met the deputy speaker today, and we probe and we believe that allegation was a calculated ploy by the Unity Party to create face that CDC who removes speaker. It is the system, it is the government that removes speaker. You preside over the resources of our country. Stop scapegoating. We have investigated, and we can say to you, friend, who was open to us, we have a good meeting. We want to say to you, the CDC is on course Monday, 12 noon. All of our lawmakers who won on the ticket of the CDC, this is categorically clear. All of our lawmakers who won on our ticket, some of the guys who have been masquerading, there'll be a clear warning to those of the guys in River G. Those are you who won on our ticket. We understand you have gotten conflicted and you have gotten polluted by some of those evil political dealings of this regime. You have an opportunity to save yourself and return home. You have an opportunity to save yourself and return home. We are saying clearly, honor the direct instruction of the party chairperson, comrade compatriot General Augusto Cole.
You know, and this is where we are. This is where we are, Maba. I want us to really start the conversation from here. In the midst of everything that's happening up Capitol Hill, the lawmakers are making a decision. They've decided to take a position. Some of them. Why this is going on? The chairman of the CDC comes up to say that all the people, all of those lawmakers who won on the party's ticket have a mandate. There's a mandate. They have the opportunity now to save themselves and come back home. But he's also disclosing here, Moba, that they've had a meeting. That in fact, the deputy speaker, who almost went into a serious fight with the other two CDC lawmakers, was in that meeting. And a decision has been reached. That in fact, all the other lawmakers who signed that resolution should come back home, and in fact, they have limited time to do so. Mama, what do you think is going on here? Are we about to see Representative Thomas Fowler, for example, flipping over? Are we about to see all the CDC lawmakers saying that, look, we are going back home, the party mandate has spoken? Or are we about to see a situation where those lawmakers will stand their ground? Now, he's sending warning to some specific lawmakers, especially the ones in River G, the Southeastern lawmakers, who have gone against the party mandate to vote for the removal of the speaker. Moba, let's start the conversation from here. Is this about to turn into a unity party versus CDC thing? And if we were to get at that point, is there any hope for the unity party here?
Look, Nelson, the whole impeachment of the speaker, I don't see it to be a unity party or CDC thing. The seditions have a look at Koga on the show yesterday, Representative Koga. He gave some reason for himself and police. Some of them coming out saying what they want to say. So what the essence that people will say anything between CDC and United Party? No, it's not. It's not everybody in the United Party said supporting the impeachment of the speaker. So all the things Koji is saying, and first of all, Koji sounds very angry and arrogant. You can be talking to your lawmaker according to you, your party people who serving the party. Say, I gave you a certain time to come. If you don't come,
he said they need to save themselves. But
why
one thing we have to consider here. One thing you have to consider here is that the Secretary General of the party, Jefferson Koji, is saying that this is a mandate from the chairman of the party, from the hierarchy of the party, that if you want to save yourself, then you should make a comeback. You have up to Monday.
Next thing that the same party mandate made today CDC not in power. Because the way they see things, the way they approach things, they feel that if they talk, if even you are the opponent or opposition to them, you must go under the ground. It's not how it works. First of all, the people he comment, or he talking to like that, those people, they are full-grown men and women. They know what they're doing. And even if you want to talk to them in a manner, maybe call them. I agree, you are the Secretary General for the CDC, right? But you gotta respect them because they're more popular than you. You're not going no election, you win. You're not win nothing. Yeah, and a lot of people here, and a lot of representatives today to making noise. You can't go with none of them, you win. So at least if you talking to them, they get some respect to them.
Okay, no, I understand. You want to come from the aspect of
I want to put that aside.
He should have been a little bit respectful, engaging the law, because but again, more about maybe at the level of the party, there's a whole different approach with respect to how they will do their stuff there. But now let's get into it. What do you think is about to happen here, Moba? He said they had a meeting with the deputy speaker, Thomas Fala. And he said he wasn't specific, but he's saying here that a decision has been reached. Let's peep into Monday a little bit. Let's peep into Tuesday a little bit. Let's make some analysis around what could possibly happen, come early next week.
Nelson, I would say this. For me, I want the speaker to be removed. Let me make that clear. I do not want the speaker to be removed. Because whatever the speaker is doing, it's in the confines of our law, and he's doing it based on the interest of the country. He ain't doing it because of him or some representative out there. So, for me, if the seditions, your lawmakers, who probably wanted him to leave, and they can come back and say, you know what, we don't want him to leave again. That would sit down and come to one conclusion, or that would come to common ground, and that would align for this 6 years. That's fine. But next thing, nobody know the type of things that are happening on the ground. Now, Fanatic Kofa is one of the powerful men now in the country. 2020 now, it's possible that Fanatic Kofa can be running for president, and he will get vote, and you'll see people coming out for him. So based on that, I believe, in my own understanding, they want to silence him before 2029. And when the impeachment, there will be a weakness on his side, and people that stand probably get out of zeal for him, get out of love and see what he's doing. Look, Nelson.
But again, Bob, let's put it this way, and I've listened to that debate over and over and again. They don't want him to remain there. He has a bid for 2029, but. I mean, remove her from the speakership. Does that in any way weaken one's bid for the 2029 is so many years?
Nelson, it shows the weakness and the power of leadership. So on the other side, he ain't got to defend himself by explaining to the Liberian people. But when he stand his ground now, and for the whole 6 year pass, and he still speak up, Nelson, Fanatic Kofa will go as far as president as possible. Because let me tell you, Liberian people could be convinced. And what Fanatic Kofa is doing right now, for me, when he was running, I also supported him. But for
let's do this. Let's do this. If this debate about presidency, and stuff like that you bring into the picture is something to go by, a lot of people will gravitate towards, especially when it comes to the presidency, a nationwide thing, are people who have made some level of impact across the country, whose handmark can be seen across the country. You look at it and say, okay, the person has done this, the person has done that. I mean, beyond just the politics of it, beyond just the regular conversation, what can you point to? What do you think Liberians will be looking at to make that decision come 2029? If that is something to go by, just before transitioning and moving on to George.
Nelson, first of all, we all know the House of Representatives is one of the most corrupt in our country. While Buffer was there, the people was sharing money. They don't say you can go pick your money from the ground. Anything they say yes, sir. Until people were seeing what was coming on, until some people got frustrated, right? But this on this identical Fanatic Kofa leadership, he's not condoning that. He's not. So it's making them angry. And because he want to audit and bring some sanity in the House of Representatives, a lot of the representatives don't want it. Because the majority of the representatives order, they are poor people. They are poor.
Thank you. I want to hold you there, Mama. Let me hold you there.
Let me conclude on this. Let me conclude. I know. Let me conclude on this. Fanatic Kofa get his money. Manus corruption plus corruption. Fanatic Kofa get money. He not going to say that the money will share on other people that do not know. He will step on everything and he will audit that house. Anybody hand the cookie jar, even including Thomas Fala, you will pay. Thank you.
I want to hold you there, Josh. You listen to the the SG of the CDC, Jefferson Koji, outlining the different issues, talking about a strategic meeting that has been held. The leadership of the party, they've met with the deputy speaker. A decision has been reached. And in fact, that there's a caveat out there to all of the CDC lawmakers to return home between now and Monday. I mean, Josh, what do you foresee here? What do you think is happening? Let's peep into Monday and Tuesday a bit, and let's make some analysis around what could probably happen just within 2-3 days from now, with respect to.
Look, Nelson, thank you so much. Look, I think we got a really long road ahead. And just to speak to this, the SG's statement, and I just listened to, I think that was really strong worded. If I were him, I wouldn't have said it the way he said it. But look, he's a SG. You know, he knows exactly, what has been transpiring and, what is going on. I don't know, but if I were him, I would speak a little bit softer, because we're here to persuade people to do, the things that we wanted to do. If you are pursuing someone,
Josh, why do you think those people should be spoken to softly when, in fact, the people he's speaking to won on the party's ticket?
Nelson, if someone wins on the party's ticket, it does not mean that they have to do everything the party says. If I win on a party ticket and the party is trying to stall things, I might not agree. I might say no. I will put country first, then party. You know what I mean? I can say I feel in myself that this is the right thing to do. Because guess what? If you leave the legislature today, you go home and you are no more, and your children are here to live after you, and they say, what did your father do when he was at the legislature? He stood for something. He said something. He did not follow what everyone said. He did the right thing. He did what he look, Nelson, that's what I always say on the show. I will say what I believe. It might be the wrong thing. You might not agree with me, but that's how I feel. And I should be authentic by all means to say what I believe is the real thing to do, right? So here's the thing. I think we got a long road ahead. And I see people here who have never listened to Bwaka speak to them. They say Bwaka is not responsible for what is happening. President Bwaka is not responsible for what is happening. And they are defending him the same way we sedition were defending, our government. And that's the problem here, Nelson, because people will play, blind eye to what is happening only to defend their own. And for me, it's wrong. Here's the thing. This legislative thing that is happening had happened from the beginning. We sedition, we voted for Fanatic Kofa to be there. There might be this, misunderstanding, because we understand that the budget is not flowing the way it should have happened, and people are not happy for that. They are saying, their money is not coming, even though the Senate money is coming. You know what I mean? Senate are giving everything from the government that they want. So why is it that Fonati is not doing what he's supposed to do to make sure that their budget flow as well? Just like the judicial branch, they are complaining as well that they are not having the money that they're supposed to get, right? So people might be angry for different reasons, and they want to remove him to put somebody that would be able to negotiate more, or would be able to do things differently. That is a valid point for them. But can that result into the party, being left in the cold? Because we won the division of power, or we want the balance of power in the government. We cannot afford when President Bwaka wants it, he gets it. That's not what we want, because not everything President Bwaka wants will be in the interest of the government, the country. You see, because President Baka maybe he will say, okay, like people were asking CDC to make sure that the first thing they tackle is to go to Grand Crew and face all the roads there to go on the roads. That means they were working. But President, we said no. I come from Grand Crew, but Grand Crew is not the first place to start from. What I would do first is to make sure our capital is presentable, where people will come and feel good. Then we start to move outside of the place. We can't just go isolated, go way beyond and go do development. But now people are coming against him. They are saying, oh, he's supposed to develop in Maryland. He's supposed to face the road in Maryland. But the roads that face him in Monserrato and Lofa, they don't see the roads. They are only saying about Grand Crew. So the problem is that we Liberians, we think like as if we are some sort of entity, right? That does not even have to conform to anything. We say anything we want to say at any time. I see people here insulting me and saying all sort of things. It's their business. But what I would say, Nelson, is that President Bouaka is responsible for what is happening. If President Bouaka is ready for this thing to end, it will end. But I think what I believe is that this would.
And I understand where you're coming from, Josh. And everyone is entitled to their opinions, to their view, to make analysis around those different issues. And we've heard this blame thing around here for a very long time. Who's responsible? Who did what and stuff like that. But I want us to make some analysis around this statement. What do you foresee in the coming days, Josh? Especially with the party speaking now. When the Secretary General of the party speaks, it's like the Deputy Information Minister for Press and Public Affairs of the country speaking. Jefferson Koji is speaking. He's telling those lawmakers, if you respect the party that gave you this opportunity, you have up to Monday to come back home. Come back home. Someone may say that he's talking about them with the need for them to withdraw their signatures. But what do you foresee here, Josh? If the likes of Thomas Fala steps back from this entire process, I'm not with those 47 or 41 lawmakers anymore. I'm withdrawing. Though he didn't sign it, but I'm
withdrawing. Exactly, that's what I was going to say.
He didn't sign it, but I'm withdrawing from the entire process. What do you foresee here? Would that in any way rescue the speaker?
Look, Nelson, I think the speaker got a really tricky role ahead. And speaking as a Liberian, an outsider, and also a partisan of the CDC, I think if I were the speaker, I would negotiate. And if I feel that my role is untenable, I will resign, right? Because, one person cannot hold this country hostage. And the way I see things, the house will be divided. They will not do the Liberian people work. And just because of one man, I don't think one man should stand in the way. So I don't think the speaker's position is tenable right now. In my own view, I think once his colleagues are saying no to him, I think he should give in, because Nelson, we can sit here and play all the party politics and do whatever we want to do. In our house, it's a different ball game. People will take bribe, or people will take signature fees. You know what I mean? That is legal. On our system, there's signature fee for anything. You know what I mean? But most things that we see happening, they say even contract. This concession contract that come from overseas, when the people go there, they get signature fees. That when you sign, they pay you this. Even in a football contract, I support Arsenal. If you sign, they say signing fee that $3 million. You sign, they say if you score 5 goals in the first 3 games, you will get additional $1.2 million. So all the things are contractual. They can say those things. But when you say, if you're only going to sign because they will give you that money, then it becomes a problem. But I think the speaker role, in my own mind, I think is untenable. He could get all the numbers now, but look, the damage has been done. And I think, yes, he should give it another thought. It's my opinion.
So will you as a supporter or a partisan of the CDC? Will you be suggesting in this case that giving all the hula baloo, the buhaha, the Rickman rule, everything that's happening with the legislature now, will you be suggesting that the speaker start contemplating on resignation just to save the state, save the country, all the different noise around?
Nelson, definitely. What person we did when he felt that this election was coming to a close, he saw that if he had not come up early to announce that he had lost, he knew there was going to be chaos, because he already saw people killing people in Lofa, and even in Monrovia. I watched so many tips that people were killing people. President, we are saying, I'm not going to be part of this. I'm not going to be a part where that the country will be plunged into chaos. I'm not going to do that. So whether 20 million or 20,000 or 15,000 or 70,000 votes above me and we're still counting, I will come out to declare that I have lost this election. That is a sacrifice that this man made to make sure that Liberia returned to calm. You see what happened? As soon as he said those words, that he congratulated President Boakai, everything went back to status quo. The country became calm. And that's what I think the speaker needs to do, because we are in a time where we want development. President Boakai said he was going to bring development. He said he was going to bring NGO. He was going to bring everything back. We're looking at that. We don't want this to use this as a scapegoat to say, oh, there was chaos. I couldn't get my legislative processes in place because somebody was standing in the way of it and blah, 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 blah. We don't want that. So I would suggest that the speaker, thinks about what to do next. I know he's a very knowledgeable man. He's a very smart man. He knows exactly what he wants. And look, I don't think power is anything in isolation of, unity. Guess what? When the country is not peaceful, there can be Boakai government. When the country is not peaceful, there cannot be a speaker. So I think he needs to, think about it and think very hard and see what he can do about it, because I think his position is almost attainable. To have almost 40% in the number of 70, for them to say they don't want you, of course. Even let's say they bribe them, but they still stood and said they don't want you. So look, you either address them or you just give it a go and say, look, I will sit down and watch you guys play.
Look, Josh. In all fairness, is there some kind of game being played here? Do you see the possibility of the very CDC, which you support, which you are a member of, which the speaker comes from, masterminding this entire thing, but then on the other side have the Secretary General Jefferson Koji coming to have a press conference to say we have reached a decision, lawmakers are going to take back your signatures. Do you see the possibility of some game being played here, with the whole issue going on with the speaker?
Nelson, I'm a Liberian before I became a sedition, right? I must tell you, from all indication that I've listened to, all the channels that I'm part of, all the listening I've done, this plot is not coming from CDC.
Josh, can you see that looking in the camera tonight? Listen, with Liberians watching you across the world, listening to you across several frequencies in the country, can you say this looking in the camera?
Nelson, with a straight face, yes.
Look.
With a straight face, Nelson, I will tell you, without any reservation, that this plot to remove Speaker Fonanti Kofa has nothing to do with the CDC. CDC is angry. That people are angry at each other because of this. This brought a lot of confusion because we did not see this coming. Look, everyone, we will have issues, right? Some citizens got problems with Fonanti because they feel that he's not more forceful against this government. And others are saying, look, but he's doing the best he can, right? And guess what? We are there. We are at the table. CDC is at the table because he's there. So why can't we let him go? You know what I mean? And if you took him from there, who are you going to put there? You know what I mean? So all these things are problems. So Nelson, there is no hand of the CDC in removing Speaker Fonanti Kofa. What is happening is the UP, who always been paying money to get furniture for people, for them to remove him or to vote against him, and blah, 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 blah. We voted him. We put him there, Nelson. And we want to take him from there. We will put our hand up and take him from there and say, you are not serving our vision anymore, so leave. We can say that. He's not a long-serving member in the CDC. He just came from the Labour Party, and I don't know whether he's even, I think he's only affiliating with us. We can stand with a straight face and say, man, we don't want you. And guess what? CDC get more lawmakers in the lower house than any party in our republic. So we can stand and say, so we're not going to throw soon and hard our hands, but we are not part of removing him. And we hope that, the best thing will be done for this country, and we'll have a better Liberia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. We want to come to you, Francis, but, and it's a good thing that you joined the conversation tonight. Francis, this whole, conversation around certain lawmakers, especially those people who signed the resolution for the removal of the speaker, those people, those people who signed the resolution of for the removal of the speaker, rigs being denied visas at the U.S. embassy, that in fact, if they don't withdraw their signature, they will go on the wrong side of history, that the US government will take action against them, and in fact, America getting ready for the do you believe in that narrative that, you know, the people who signed the document, they now withdraw their signature, the US government going after them and something bad will happen to them? Francis, do you believe in that narrative?
Now saying first let me say good morning to our people in Liberia, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are. That just, I'll just say about that again, because that's a lot. There's no truth to that stuff. The U.S. government just not just going to interfere into another sovereign nation or political affairs and say, okay, because you want to remove the speaker, didn't they just move Speaker McCarthy a few months or probably a year or so ago and install somebody? Didn't the Republicans just remove him? They remove him. It happens everywhere in the world. But the only thing that will happen, like this whole bribery, alleged bribery scandal that's going around, if there's any truth to it, then yes, the U.S. government can say, okay, I don't want to do business with certain people. Or if you took bribery, I mean, it's their country. They can choose to not allow you to travel to that country, but not because they decide to move the speaker. So the U.S. and I mean, they sign the list. Now the U.S. government is going to come and say, okay, I'm going to deny everybody visa. I'm going to put sanctions on people. That's not how it works. The U.S. government not do that. They keep interfering in a sovereign nation political process like that. They move speakers around all the time. They just threaten to even remove the speaker that they replaced Speaker McCarthy with. They wanted to do the same thing too. The senator for Georgia and other places, they wanted to remove the current speaker. It happens everywhere. It's part of the political process. But the frustrating part is, if the allegation about bribery is true, then yes, that's a serious problem. That's a serious crime, and it should be investigated. It should be investigated. It shouldn't just go in that particular dude, because he's the only person that has shown money, right? So he should be caught. He should be questioned, and he should show where it came from. Because the coincidence in the whole thing, right? The major coincidence here is he explained everything in the car when he was in the car showing the money and all that stuff. He was with his federal with his buddies, right, discussing the issue. If that was the case, why didn't he put his phone record when he allegedly went in the car? He could even put it in his pocket. He doesn't have to show audio. He can put it in his pocket, his own record. I mean, he doesn't have to capture video, but he can record audio of the conversation before they even gave him the money, when they gave him the money, before he allegedly ran and snatched the paper. But none of that stuff, coincidentally, none of that stuff was recorded. Only when he's explaining how he got the paper, the money was given to him, and so that's the only part that was captured. Why they were smart enough to require that they were smart enough to go to use car dealership and do James Bond thing. Let's switch cars, take the car so it's just suspect you stay 3 million blocks away, but you're not able to say, okay, let me capture audio of the transaction between me and the person that's giving me the money. Because right now, who will he say gave the money? They only run around like they're doing now, saying, the vice president said it, this person gave money, that person gave money. All they'll do is speculate, but they have no concrete evidence as to where the money comes from. Are there any sedition right now to come up and say, this person gave the money, it came from this person? Everything they will say, it will be hearsay. But another thing when it comes to the whole Fanadikofa thing, I'm not going to miss words. I'm not in favor of Fanadikofa even being a representative, because he's a convicted felon that served 2 years in prison. But CDC and the Liberian Post say, okay, we want Roe to be then they voted him to be the third most powerful man in the country. If the president not there, vice president not there, Fanadikofa can be president. And now, Judge Weah is feeling the heat. Whether they want to say it or not, he wants to suppress him because he knows the man is gaining momentum, because he's able to play on both sides, serves like a neutral person. So he afraid that man will probably want to run in 2029. Judge is a very selfish man. And all niggas sit there and try to pretend as though Judge Weah is not behind the process to remove Fanadikofa. He wants to rag and high in hand. They can sit there and say, talk that free. But nobody will buy that stuff until that Judge Weah is not behind it. He is fully behind 100%.
Thank you. I see our brother Cindy is here. Cindy, you want to just weigh in your thoughts on this because we want to transition quickly.
Oh, the thing I went him and thought I did not, I wasn't following the show, so
Okay,
please
okay.
help
So
me. No, help me.
yeah. So that's a great one, and we're gonna come back to you. We're gonna come back to you on this one. But I want us to transition now, since in fact we've touched on this a little. I want us to transition. Couple of days ago, we saw this particular. There was an open letter to the president. Now, before going into this, the presidential power is such that the president of the Republic of Liberia sits, he watches across the country, across the aisle, he selects the best brains, the people who have what it takes to perform, to deliver, to get his dream, his vision for the country becoming a reality. So the president makes appointment, and of course, where applicable, the Senate confirms. It is not a usual thing in our country where a Liberian will tell the president or will address an open communication to the president asking the president for appointment. But we saw this, of course, and we want to make some analysis around it. Madam Lida Pukuyu, one time Secretary General at the Liberia Business Association, addressed an open communication to the president. And I want to read a portion of this, and then we're going to move on to this. So, as Elaine said, and that President Brakai, expression of interest for the position of Minister of Commerce and Industry and commitment to national service and development. And I want to just read a few. Your Excellency, President Brakai, it is with deep humility that I expressed that I greet you and extend my warmest compliments and congratulations to you for your remarkable work you've been doing for our country and people. Your leadership and guidance have given me and many others renewed hope for Liberia's future. Your Excellency, Mr. President, kindly permit me to introduce myself. My name is Lida M. Pukuyu, a proud and industrious daughter of Liberia who is deeply committed to promoting our country in the most positive way possible. For many people around the world, I may be the only Liberian they might interact with. Therefore, I am. Oh, this thing is not coming in clear. I'm not seeing the rest.
I can see it. I'm intentional about being a strong ambassador for our nation, encouraging other nationalities to visit, invest, and bring goodwill to Liberia.
Okay. To bring goodwill to Liberia.
That's why unless you want to show up. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And then
wait.
Over the years,
I have had the privilege of working alongside the United Party administration, providing my technical expertise, collaborating with various ministries and agencies, including the Ministry of Commerce, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Labor, and the Liberia Revenue Authority, LRA, to name a few. Of recent, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where I served as consultant to the Office of His Excellency or Her Excellency Minister Sarah Berslow Yanti, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Republic of Liberia. Additionally, I have had extensive experience working with the private sector, serving as Secretary General of the Liberian Business Association for 8 years. I have collaborated with major international organizations in Liberia, including the United Nations missions in Liberia, the United Nations Development Program, the World Bank, the British Embassy, and several other diplomatic missions. Being an entrepreneur with a deep practical understanding of Liberia's domestic private sector, coupled with my substantial knowledge of foreign direct investment and international partnerships, I have led over a dozen trade missions and tripartite delegations to the World Trade Organization, IMF, ILO, the UN, AU, and ECOWAS, among others. In light of these, I respectfully submit my expression of interest to serve as your next Minister of Commerce and Industry of the Republic of Liberia. Your Excellency, it may interest you to know that I have studied international business negotiation at the Academy of International Business Officials in Beijing, China, where I learned the Chinese method of. I don't know. You want to read the whole thing, or that's enough?
Let's take just 2 more slides. Yeah, let's take 2 more slides.
What is the Chinese method of negotiation and their win-win approach to trade and investment? I also studied trade facilitation in Sweden, which prepared me to represent the domestic private sector as part of the Liberia's team that negotiated Liberia's accession to the World Trade Organization. Moreover, my studies in small and medium enterprise development in Nagoya, Japan, provided valuable insights into how Japan used SMEs to lift the people out of poverty through employment, local tourism, and economic growth. I recall during my mother, Mrs. Nora Bokuyo, and I visited with you at your home last November, you passionately spoke about your desire to see Liberia's economy strengthen and thriving to improve the livelihood of ordinary Liberians. I am fully aware that Liberia is at a critical juncture, and the success of your administration is dependent on the collaborative efforts of all Liberians. Based on my multifaceted professional background, I am confident that I am well prepared to serve and bring significant contributions to this role. I humbly offer my expertise and service to your administration in the capacity of the Minister of Commerce and Industry.
Okay, so now we'll not go through the entire thing, but at the end of this, she says NPA, BA, PMA, and the CSA. Those are all the certificates. But I want us to make some analysis around this, folks. This is not the orthodox approach. This is not the what you regularly see, and this is Madam Lida Kukuyu. This is not the regular thing you see in Liberia. Now, as per what is on the book, the president sits across the table. He decides. He spot people with the relevant, knowledge, the requisite knowledge, and everything. He decides. What do you make of this approach? Given Liberia's own experience, given the experiences that folks have had with public officials in our country, where you take, for example, an individual will be spotted, appointed, and to serve in a particular position. Next thing you know is that the high hopes, the expectation of the Liberian people will be disappointed. The hopes will be dashed. I mean, let's get your own analysis around this approach, this bold step to say, look, Mr. President, I want you to appoint me as the next commerce minister. I mean, let's start this analysis with you, Josh. And since our brother Jelawu just joined us, he's going to be next in line. And then Vasco want to welcome you to the show.
Oh, look, Nelson, thank you so much. And look, I understand this is very strange. It's something that we have not seen in our, political sphere where people apply for jobs, because this is an application for that position. And I think the only reason why this lady, or whether it's a lady, because the name, I'm not familiar with the name. I'm not sure whether it's a lady or a guy.
That's a lady.
That's a lady. I think the only reason why the lady is applying is because she's now 75 years old, or she did not attend CWA. Because if she had done that, President Bwaka would have remembered her. So she's passionate. She's passionate. And look, I want to say kudos to her, because if this lady was maybe some 70, 8 or 18
no,
years old.
George, I don't understand this your age politics and all of that. I don't understand your age politics, because President Weah was in his 50s, but he had an EPA boss, commerce minister, Professor Wilson Tapper, who was in his 60s or 70s. So I don't understand where your age politics is coming from. But go ahead.
Nelson, you're right. But on the majority, we look at the majority. Did you see that video of this man who was undergoing how they call it confirmation? After the confirmation, I think he's one of the advisors to the current president. He could not even hold the mic. The Bible was heavy for him. That how old and frail this man was. And look, I just want to say,
but then it depends on the size of the Bible.
You cannot be disrespectful to all other people, my man.
No, come on. This is an intellectual discourse. No, Maba. This is an intellectual discourse.
I don't blame Moroba. I don't blame Moroba. His capacity in that level is a little bit shaky.
Come on, Josh. Let's have
no problem, but you abuse.
Raymond, welcome to the show. Raymond, welcome to the show.
And if you could understand what I'm saying, you believe you understand.
Josh, I'm coming. It depends on the size of the Bible. You cannot take a 40-pound Holy Bible that is as big as something and put it in a 70-year-old man's hand and expect him to hold it for 5 hours to read 2-3 chapters. It's not possible. So I want us to forget about that whole Bible heavy for somebody here and focus on this the analysis around this.
Nelson, here's how a country develops along with the rest of the world. Being innovative, be thinking 10 years to come, a strategic plan, putting in place how the current laws cannot meet the current situation that exists, the circumstances that exist now. So changing the laws to suit how things can be, done properly. A 70-year-old man or 80-year-old man who cannot even use a computer, sitting to advise the president on how we can digitally, improve our country. It's nothing but nothing. I will leave that because I see that people are having short faces here because they think that I'm going hard on old age. I am not. I was young and I'm old now, and I will still get older and older. And so I'm not going to be. But if there will be a time that there will be a time where I will know when to call it quit. And that's the thing. Knowing your capacity is one of the most important things in life. Knowing that, look, I've reached here and I know that I cannot continue. Just like President Boakai. If I were President Boakai, I wouldn't be going for the presidency. But President Boakai had on a bucket list, and he know that that's one of the things he wants to do before God calls him. So he accepted it. But I think this president is not serving the population well. One demographic of the population is prevalent in his government, while the others are language in oblivion, writing letters, going to his house, going to the party chairman house to get job, even though they are qualified. I think this person is not doing well. And you will see most of the letters coming. They did not come President Weah time because President Weah knew exactly who to appoint. He knew that he needed energetic people in places that require energy, and he will put people somewhere that require to just sit down and to talk. But this person is not doing it. So people will be writing, people will be crying, people will be doing all sort of unorthodox things just to make sure that they are recognized. Okay, good. Nelson is gone, so let me just conclude.
No, you're done.
I'm not going. I'm here. I'm saying, Cindy, go ahead.
But you're mute, Nelson. So
you were on mute. Well, gentlemen, it's good to be here. Good evening. Look, Nelson, I saw a very long letter of intent. That was not an application. Let's get it right. Wow. That is a letter of intent. The lady expressed an intent for the position. There's nothing wrong with it. We all write letters of intent. I've written several letters of intent for employment. I think this is something we should actually encourage. Let people showcase their strength academically, intellectually, outline their experiences for positions, for considerations. And it shouldn't be just based on party sentiments. Like you said, the president is responsible to appoint, but we are also aware that most people appointed to positions by the president are recommended to him or to her, whether it's a female president or male president. Someone usually have to recommend that person. The president don't know everyone that he or she appoints. In this case, we have an individual who knows there's a vacancy in government. She thinks she has the experiences the education to occupy such position. So she wrote a letter of intent. What I will say though, that letter is too long. I mean, academically, I will have to help my sister on that one. A letter of intent is just one page. Make it very concise, precise, and go to the bullet point. That's it. It's too long. But I forget about that. I want to agree with my brother George on one point. I think in government, Nelson, at this point, given our country, where we are and where we want to go, I think we need a lot of energized, experienced Liberians out there to occupy major positions that would lead us into the next step. Nelson and brothers, I saw our Liberian National Police marching today. Female National Police, I saw a video. I see and I'm not being disrespectful to anybody. Please don't come after me for this statement. I saw women, beautiful women, but very older women, very unhealthy looking women, big women. I'm sorry. Again, this is what I saw, and I'm not being rude to anybody. And I'm asking myself, if I send the Osti somewhere on water side, that woman over there able to run after me? She can't. If you go to other countries, like Rwanda, I mean, we mentioned Rwanda here a lot. You see young people, youth, healthy, being encouraged to join. But you know why? You will not find most of our young people too that are healthy and energized to join because we don't respect the folks, right? But I agree with George. We need energized people to get into position, energized, experienced, knowledgeable. I think where the older people can go, often in other countries where you find them going, is in the legislators, elected positions. They have built some experiences in private sectors, maybe they own businesses, they have worked, they have retired from those areas and say, okay, let's get into the legislators to use our wisdoms, our experiences to help our country. Gentlemen, you will agree with me, in most countries, you find people that are retired, experienced, have some sort of, stability in the legislators. But we actually flip it. In Liberia, we put people there with no experiences. We put people there with no background, no financial stability, and then they enrich themselves. But again, let me end on this one. The question, the discussion is on the lady, letter of intent. I don't see any problem with it, Nelson. If it was in the healthcare as well, maybe if I saw a vacancy in the Ministerial Health, or maybe at JFK, I may also write a letter of intent. That's my expertise. I'm a healthcare administrator. I will express that to the president and say, Mr. President, I'm out here. I have done this, I have done that. Consider me for it. I don't think anything is wrong with that.
No, but don't you see this as maybe an unusual thing, an unusual approach, especially considering the Liberian society, where it is in the purview of the president to decide who becomes Commerce Minister, for example, like in this case. Yes, Amin Moda is gone, he has resigned, but the president decides.
Nelson, the president will still decide whether I write a letter of intent or whether Nelson recommend me to the president or Raymond recommend me to the president or the president himself sees that I'm fit, the president will still decide. There is nothing wrong with an experience or someone who believes to have experience for such position to write a letter of intent. Again, this is not common in our country, but I think it's a good step. In fact, I will encourage the president now moving forward that if you want a position in government, write a letter of intent. We will evaluate your letter of intent. We will do some background investigation to know whether what you list on your letter of intent are accurate. Based on that evaluation, we may call you for interview. If we start to approach government job like that instead of just giving it to people based on political alignment, maybe, and only maybe, we will find people to be productive
Thank you.
and efficient.
Thank you very much, Cindy. I want us to move to MOBA, and then we're going to take Francis, Vasco, and Raymond on this one just before we transition.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Look, every time we come here, we say our people they need to get certain position, but we forget that for the past 6 years, we get a lot of young folks who went there. They stole a lot. They built condominium for themselves. They were young. They are young people, energetic, very strong. They can move. They can take exercise. They push out. They walk. They run. We put it there.
Come on. Moba, sorry, Moba, let me hold you a bit. Sorry,
I will come to that.
I'm sorry. Unfortunately, Josh tried to drag this age thing into, Josh and Vasco, someone commented the other day. I don't know the problem you guys have.
No, we got nothing. What people say, we have to bring clarity.
Our own brother, our doctoral fellow, soon to be Dr. Cindy, they may say he support that point as well with Josh. But I don't want us to.
Nothing. If you will soon do GoFundMe because I have 4 more classes left for my doctoral program, I need money. Send your honorable day GoFundMe. Your do GoFundMe for me too.
Send it. I beg you. Please go ahead.
But look, we all know we need a lot of people. We need people. We need energetic people. But we can't come here and and say negative and say words that will look bad to our older people, saying they standing out, holding power, they shaking. We can't say that. Like a respect for our older people, no matter we can get the politics as far as
I don't know, and I respect their position on this. I don't know, but even it's possible that even a young person can hold power and be shaking.
No, the man
happens because of phobia.
Nursing.
All right,
we're not talking.
Stage fright can lead to that as well. There are so many reasons. They have
the man emphasis on it. You don't got to do no clarity. Let me go. Let me talk my own. So when we talking about old and young, the only thing I want also to be discussing is who will deliver, who will produce. That's the thing we should be talking. We should be talking about. We putting young people there, we putting old people there. We want the other person doing job we are redeemed. You will get a lot of young people over there all the day. Woman lives, news money, bar houses, the Labrampo money. That's it. The old people are there. They're not. They passing around looking for girlfriend and thing. They're doing the Labrampo people work. So if we're talking about old and young, let's put that aside. But let me go to the common minister space, Nelson. Look, as much we go through a whole letter. I think she get a lot of experience according to what we see herself. We do background check and see if all the things she said on our document, on our paper was true. Then we can come back and say, okay, yeah, and we can talk to the president for the president at least to look in her direction or more especially we see no candidate coming out yet. Only her for now. If
you were president, if you were the president of the Republic of Liberia, considering the fact that this is not a normal thing in the Liberian society, it's been a pattern where the president decides, maybe there are a few recommendations made to him, he looks through the listing and then goes ahead and does the selection. If you were the president in this case with such an open letter, will you honor it? Will you give it consideration?
Yeah, next thing I will hold a letter and I will do my background check, my investigation to make sure that what all she put on that letter is in line with what she, what she put in the letter is in line with everything. Or background check, her school, whatsoever she put over there, her record, her track. Because now we live in a modern world, nursing. If anywhere you work, you're needing a system. More especially when it comes to international job and other things like she admit on our document. So end of the day, we all want the best for Liberia. So within my case, nursing, I would check because for now, we all sit there, we understand that only one person now we know. Okay, let me just talk to myself that I know. Only one candidate that I know now that come up board it, that bring whatsoever she should bring, so the president can be convinced to look in her direction. So I think the president need to look in her direction about do more investigation to make sure that.
Do you agree with Cindy that if there's a need for a reform, this should be the regular pattern where people should maybe read letter of intent openly so that even the public will critique what they've rating and do some necessary background check and before the president starts to evaluate the listing.
Yeah, I think it nothing, you know, it will not only show, it will show transparency and it will show trust and credibility. Because nothing, if somebody come and write something, it's go viral, you know, it's go public. People watching it, people looking at it on Facebook, people going to it. And then end of the day, the document come up and say, okay, you know what? Let me take the person, but let's do our background check. And if they go through the background check and half of the thing you just put on that document is not aligning with what you said, the end of the day, people will be like, okay, but they won't lie. She ain't fit for that position. So I think, in my view, and my brother sent it right for that identical aspect, it should be like that. That people read the letter of intent so that we, the citizen, can view it and come out and say, okay, they person this and that. Look, Nelson, let me conclude by saying sometimes the citizen themselves can. My man, George Toya for 2 hours, pull your hand down. You come into another side. Let me talk my own.
No, come on, man. You have to.
No, I be talking.
You have to respect your colleague,
I can conclude.
Yeah, you concluding, and I've afforded you the time, but I mean, you
that's not good, man. That's not good to say what you just said, man.
No,
that's not good at all.
Okay, I'll take it back.
You have to apologize to your colleague. Apologize.
Take it back, but I'll be talking to people there. They will not wear red. That's not going to shoot like that. Don't be put your hand for me.
Somebody going shoot like that, you know. That minute, they're like brain minute full of all kind of things. You do your hand at that info and another national. The person is not thinking anyway. But just the minute they hand that mobile say
no, they meant to hand that. You know, Vasco let that thing when you're talking.
It's like you've been in an environment where people were shooting like me a lot of times.
Vasco, my brother, I apologize, my brother. But let me not conclude by saying this. Look, Nelson, we all want the best for Liberia. I don't want people to be missing the young and the old issue. The only thing we should be talking about productivities and production. Who will produce for the Liberian people? That's it.
Thank you. Francis, let's say you on the one. Francis, if you were the president and now giving the different points from across the table, what's your take on this approach in the first place? And if the whole idea of you know, letters of intent from people to serve in public position is to be something that you want to sell out there, don't you think it's going to take away from the presidential power in the first place?
No, it doesn't take away from the presidential power. If anything, it just allow the Liberian people to also scrutinize this person for themselves, to actually know this person, as opposed to how it's been going, where, you know, even though it's not right, to just pick John Brown, Mary Paul, and all these people and say, okay, I appoint this person. But this, now we all read her letter of intent. I mean, we know her a little bit. So if the president decides to interview her and appoint her, at least the Liberian people got to know her before he even appointed her. She's a young lady. She seems to have a lot of experience under her belt. And yes, I will go there and say, the old people, you can't be putting old wine in new bottle and expect the taste to change. Come on now. The same thing. The same people from past government that failed. You keep recycling the people there, bringing it back to government over and over. And you expect change to come to the country. No. Bring different experts that are Liberians all over the world. And even in Liberia, that are educated, that are smart, that know the subject matter. Expand your reach for who you recruit to a point. You can just sit down and they just have the same group of people from government to government. When I do the remove them, but no, I don't blame the president and to himself. I blame the Liberian people. When the president still as minister of state, then he go and become senator. Then the president go from senator to become representative, from representative to become senator, or from here to minister of football, to minister of Pankana. They just keep moving the people all over the place. They can't say, my man, you're over here, you do nothing. Why should we entrust you with another position? Let's find somebody else. Liberian people, we just sit down there with our 2 cup of red account, and or maybe our 10 and stuff. Then we'll say, South, I was there, and we'll vote for the president. But this is a good approach. It's a bold step. The president should fire, if they are even in the government right now, he should fire the people that are even recruited. Most of the people are in the government right now that brought them to him that brought those resumes to him that he used to appoint people to government agencies. He should fire most of the people. And yes, Judge is right. That old puppy over there that was reading, if that puppy was an educator, he should be a dean right? Just sitting and reviewing term paper, reviewing thesis, again, doing lectures. You shouldn't be working in government. You bring all these older people with old ideas. For what? Look, that's why you see they don't prioritize education.
Francis, are you aware that you will get old someday?
Yes, but you know what? Why I'm somewhat young right now? If I'm working, whatever I'm doing, I should do my best, right? So that when I'm older, in my latter years, when I retire, I should be advising people, or people should be calling me. You see, that's what we'll call Charles King on the show to get expertise sometimes. That's why they should be doing it. Me or even our old paper that President Barker appointed, people like Grace Peter, other people, they should be calling them if they were good government officials in the past and asking them for that expert opinion, advice, and stuff that the young folks should be calling them. Don't be bringing them. The old people, what they still want money for? But they're not giving no job for it. They just steal. But wait, nothing. That's why they don't prioritize education. You see what they do to the youth in the country? They're zogifying them with drugs and all that stuff, so that those are the next doctors, lawyers, engineers, mechanics, whatever we are lacking in our country. Those are the next group. And those people, what they are doing, those people may not even have children. Some of them may not even live long enough to have children. So who knows what their children are going to be? You see, in the West, in all developed countries, human capital, they invest in it because you never know where that next Elon Musk will come from or where that next George Weah will come from. What happened, God forbid, George Weah was never born? Will LeBron be on the map for football? Let's talk to. That's what happens.
Thank you.
That's in human capital. You don't know who will be in the next generation. But people there, they just sit out there and destroy the country and they destroy the youth to prevent the future. They will say, "Oh, LeBron, I get better. I will get better."
Thank you.
Francis, thank you very much. As the assistant host tonight, thank you. Co-host.
So Josh is co-hosting tonight, and once we go to the phone lines, we come back to do the closing. Josh will take over and stuff like that. Moba, I see that red next to Josh, to make sure that Josh is in that position and he does everything in line. But on a serious note, let's hear from you on this, Vasco. I don't know whether you were here when we read this letter, an open communication, an open letter to the president from Madam Lida Pukuyo. She's saying that she presented her resume, her experiences, her expertise, and she's calling on President Joseph Yuma Boakai. She's telling him that she's willing, she's available to offer her expertise as Minister of Commerce, given the recent saga at the ministry where the minister resigned. This is an unusual approach in a Liberian society. Vasco, what's your take on it? What's your analysis around this? Is this the best thing to do, especially when you, Vasco, here knows that the president is the one who does the appointment, where applicable, the Senate will confirm and stuff like that. Is this something that if you were president, you would give him to?
If I were president, yeah, and energetic, strong, young.
You what?
Energetic, strong, young man. And yeah.
Full of so much energy. Let's put it that way. Full of so much energy.
Thank you. So yeah. you say if I was the president, yes.
If you were the president.
If I was the president, I mean, I would look everywhere. But unfortunately, the person we have now as a president.
Listen, before we go to the person we have now, I will know you want to bring the whole CDC for the
No, CDC thing. Don't eat my time.
No, I'm coming, Vasco. This approach, is it the right thing?
That's what I'm saying. It's not a bad thing. To put your intent out there for people to look at you or read what you have, yeah. But equally so, it is not a guarantee something, or it's not something that everybody will believe, because they don't have all kinds of things written for people, all kinds of things people can put on Facebook. So going out there, putting your intent out there for people to read and know whether you qualify or not, it's not a bad thing. But like, I want to add my voice to the many voices here. Looking at the people that we have right now as our leader, president, and whatsoever. I don't know who advised her or whether she don't have contact with Grace Bay or what you call it, girl, young Kula Fufana, young girl, and she's a young woman. I mean, these are the people she could channel her application through, at least. But if you're waiting for President Bouaka to come on Facebook to see the letter, it will be difficult. These are people that don't even know about Facebook. Merci. The president don't know about that thing yet. So you put your letter there for nothing.
So you really think the president doesn't know about Facebook, Vasco?
You got a battle on Facebook.
Brother, I was talking my own. When you're kind of to your own. You not see the radio that can be saying that near the president. You know when they face that radio. Some kind of small radio can be near the president. You know they hear they face that radio.
You know, Vasco, you are you, on a serious note. You know, I don't love to do this, but you have 20 seconds.
You see, they try to cut me off.
You have just 20 seconds to conclude.
I'm not saying this to say that.
Because I don't know where you were when the radio was manufactured. You know, so that
you see the radio near the president?
Look,
in your house. To when they can be bro, you used to see the radio near the president. And the United Party, they never need to take a picture, put it on Facebook. That radio that way back. Ever since radio the cassette, you know what they can put a cassette in. That it was always near him listening to the radio. So the people we have now, this girl may be a smart person, but where she put out her letter of intent, I mean, that's not the right place. And I don't know if she's from Lofa County. If she's from Lofa County, then maybe she gets small hope. Because these are the people the president looking for. Most especially people from Lofa County. So people can tell him, oh, there's a girl who posted something on Facebook. And I know the president, the president not even having any kind of intention to go over there and read anything. And you understand? So, I mean, she may be a smart person, but that's a wrong place, man. She need to get contact with people that are close to the president.
Thank you, Vasco.
Now, Moriba can even be reading people on Facebook to make decision.
You want to make a quick point just before we bring
just a quick point, and I forgot to add this when I was speaking. In her letter, she said she have had some sort of affiliation, or she worked with the Unity Party administration. It's in that letter. If you want to put it up again, that's
okay. So is it this slide?
Well, Nelson, I believe that Nelson
as a consulting, I think.
Yeah, but she mentioned, if you go through the letter, she mentioned
I remember that,
something with Unity Party administration. For me, that's a wrong move. I escaped my mind. I think she should have been neutral. Don't pull, you can state your experiences. You can say, I've worked for the Liberian government, as a consultant, but to say I work for Unity Party administration, for me, that will kill it for me.
Yeah, and that was the Unity Party of 20 of Ellen Ministerial. But again, I understand where exactly you're coming from.
Liberian government will be enough. I work for the government in the past will be enough.
You see the person.
I agree.
The person that Baga will put to that place.
Let's take Raymond. Raymond, go ahead. Let's hear your take on this. Raymond comes on with that chase, but that's okay. Go ahead.
Honestly, it's distasteful for me sitting here and have to listen to the prejudice, the hate messages against older people called ageism. I come from the background from an African philosophy that says you sit on the old mat to plot a new one. And from my length and experience of living, I know the thing they call gut feeling, intuition, comes with age. Another thing they call euphoria, energy, hasty judgment come with youthfulness. And a lot of times it misses the mark. But human being as a whole likes to think this generation is better than the generation before. That's a thing of every generation. Our children will do the same to us if they follow suit. But I'm from the African perspective that says you honor and speak positive of the older people. You consult with them because their wisdom exceeds yours. And for that reason, I hold that position. And I just think every Liberian who has energy, who has expertise, have a right to work in our government and can contribute something. The ageism thing, I don't think it's anything positive. There's no correlation of good governance and ageism. Never been proven before. If you have the energy, your body will tell you, and you make that determination, and nobody should make it for you. Let's come to Lida. I know Lida a long time ago. Since we were young, she's a very intelligent lady. And a few years ago, maybe a year or two ago, I attended a Liberian Association program somewhere in Baltimore, Maryland, and she was there. And I think she was the head or she got owner and stuff like that. So I know how instrumental she is in the Liberian community. She's very educated. And I think what she's done is unprecedented for Liberians to put themselves out there, declare their intention for opposition. She's a Liberian. She has the right to serve her country. And she has the right to market herself. And I hope others can find reason to do that. But again, the buck stopped with the president. He got elected by the Liberian people, and only him and him alone can decide who serves in his administration. And if he work with leader based on what, that's his prerogative. He has that authority, and that's why he's the none of us. If he chooses to work with, that's him. That's his job. That's what the Liberian people that's it give to him.
Raymond, I don't know what's happening with your audio is kind of fluctuating.
Am I much better now? That's the authority the Liberian people gave him, and that's why he was voting for when he went campaigning all around and did all that, and the Liberian people cast their ballot. That sacred duty, that's what they gave him, and nobody else has it. So whoever he wants to work with, whether they work for the Unity Party in the past, whether they are female, whether they age something, that's his judgment. And that's the authority he has that none of us here has, even though we all have our right to speak freely, critique our government official. But it stops right there. And I hope she
But then
gets
what are you saying?
because I'm speaking my opinion as well. You spoke yours. So why you gotta interrupt me? I sat quiet when I listened to you, and I didn't agree.
Yeah, let's make Josh is co-hosting tonight. So let's
I can interrupt you when I want to.
Some question,
but he can ask a question now to make a counter statement.
Yeah, so Nelson, let me just come that quick, just for a quick little question. If the press if it is the president's prerogative to appoint anybody who wants to appoint, and we dare not question him or say anything, why are we here?
You heard what I said. I said we all got our opinion, and it stops right there. I said it's his prerogative. So your
all right, go ahead, man.
In or out, he's still gonna decide. And the Constitution made it clear that every appointed official serves at the will and pleasure of the president. It said will and pleasure. So whatever he will, whatever he please, so it be. The only people that can stop it are the senators.
Now, let me ask you a question, Raymond. If you were in the seat of the presidency, assuming you were in this space to make a decision, will you honor such an approach?
Like
especially in an environment where it's known that the pattern should be recommendations are made to you. You make a selection from the listing of those recommended.
So the person that I am, I know Lida personally. I got a good impression of her, and I got to know her way back. So she didn't start her positive outlook to life now. She started it back then. I knew her, and I was impressed by the lady I met. And she stayed the same impressive lady. But if there are other Liberians, vet them. But I think it's an opportunity for a lady, because I know President Bouaka has a lot of female and he wants to empower female. So I think it gives her an added advantage. And if I was the president, I would look at that as well. But I think as much as she has put herself out there, she should be considered and see who's the best candidate for the job. But because I know her personally, you will say some level of bias. Yet, I hope she gets the job.
Okay, so just before bringing Anthony in, let's take it, Francis. Francis, you want to make a quick point, then we bring Anthony.
Yeah, just quickly. Brother Romo came on here accusing people of ageism and saying how is the this for whatever the case may be. But bro, you gotta be real with yourself. We shouldn't come out here and lie to the people. Yeah, we agree. Sit on old man to plow new one. But what the old man guy like brother is good enough to sit on the bread the new ones in the government? Where are the old ones? Point to the old ones that are there now.
Our country are going backward.
And breed the new ones. We are sitting here talking about yes, our older folks, not saying put them in concentration camp. So put them somewhere where they can be able to advance the younger folks in the administration that are working new, fresh minds. We have tried this all recycle politicians for a long time. Why can't we bring newer folks? Yeah, people want to talk about the administration. Yeah, that's one of the exceptions. But a lot of the younger folks, they mess things up. But there are still other people outside in Liberia, which it doesn't matter. These old folks need to stay down and be advisors. I'm not talking about getting paid advisor, maybe consultancy and something like that. But getting out of the office, the administration, come on, dude. These simple people, you hear them drink any first 6 years or second 6 years, then they jump one judge, we have 6 years, they come to Bouaka 6 years. God forbid if CDC win again, who else do you think will come back? Most of the things recycle people, but just look at the U.S. administration, the U.S. Time. When a president first 4 years, sometimes in the second 4 years, a whole brand new group of people, almost 50 or 60% brand new people coming into the administration. Fresh minds develop every time. But in Liberia, oh no, let's not educate the youth and bring our old bodies there to come and do the same thing.
Thank you, Francis. So, Anthony, you can take us to the phone lines as we come back to do our closing.
Yeah, man, I really wanted to be on the show, and I took a nap, and that went so long. Oh my God! But good evening, everyone. And I took my time to read a letter of intent. As a person who processed people through hiring process, had multiple interviews. That right there would prompt my attention to want to hear this lady out face to face, to match her wording from her letter of intent to her personal self and interview her. I think that letter was well written, and I mean, she put herself out there. She sold herself to this administration. She should be given an opportunity of interview, at least so they can hear her out, even if she doesn't get the job. I mean, this is a political position, wherever the case may be. But I like what she did. I like the fact that she put herself out there, right, and said, listen, I'm a Liberian and I have the competence and I'm willing to work for our nation, willing to do X, Y, and Z. Yeah, what I come with. You know, this is the kind of thing we need to see, right? Let my competence speak for me. Whether or not I will be hired, that's not the point. I like what she did, and I hope many other Liberians will take, this opportunity to be able to do such things instead of begging with pack of money behind closed doors just so you get into a position. You can tell that somebody who learned and willing to serve their country, but she doesn't want to take a back door. She had personal interaction with the president when she visited the president with her mom. She, alluded to that, but she didn't take that route. She said, listen, I'm qualified and I deserve an opportunity to do X, Y, Z. And I think that the team need to speak to the lady and see what she brings to the table. That is the kind of thing we need to see, right? A put yourself out there, make yourself available. Start taking back the approach to people need to be hired based on merit. She outlined the reason why she's competent for this position. She's qualified for this position. She outlined what she would do, if given the opportunity, and she's willing to work for Liberia. There is an opportunity for this administration also to, look at her first. If you apply for a job and do a cover letter, the hiring manager or the recruiter automatically sees something like that. They'll place a phone call to you, first of all, to have a phone interview. Second of all, they will also want to see your face-to-face interview to see if what is written on paper, you possess that, right? And from your interaction, they will know that, yes, indeed, because anybody can write, right? But when you can back up what is written on the paper with your physical presentation, that's all we need. That's all we need. We need people with competence in the rightful position, not putting a square peg in a round hole. And I give back my time, Nelson. I like what you did. I read a letter, I took my time, and I appreciate what you did.
Thank you. Thanks a lot, Anthony. So we're gonna come back, and everyone will get the time to do their closing, either on the different talking points or other things you want to talk on. But it's been basically about the CDC press conference, the engagement. They've disclosed to the public that they had a very strategic meeting. That they had a meeting with the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala. They reached a decision that Liberians will be hearing from the party very soon. And the Secretary General went on to call on all CDC lawmakers who won on the party's ticket to return home, giving them up to Monday to do so. What do we foresee? What's going to happen here? Is the number for the independent lawmakers going to further reduce? Are we going to see from 41 to maybe 30 to 35? Is the number further going to increase? Some of the lawmakers are speaking out now. Some of them are saying that, look, we did not sign for money. Prince Toh has spoken now. He said he didn't sign for money. All the things they're talking about Capitol Hill, he's out of the country. He didn't sign for a dime. This narrative that the lawmakers who signed for the money, U.S. government would take action against them, they would deny them visa. Is this something to go by? Is this something that you want to buy? And of course, we've been making some analysis around Madam Lida Kukuyu's letter or open letter to the president, the approach, and some analysis we've been making around that. But let's go to the lines and take a few calls. 0555-101075, 0555-101075, and we'll take your calls on the WhatsApp line as well. I'm going to put the WhatsApp up, but let's take our first caller here. Hello, you're live. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Joe Jones, and I call from Police Academy.
Joe, please go ahead. Let's hear you.
I'm getting noticed that in this country, most of the positions you see people are into, especially when kind of governmental position, I look at that to be like something like misplaced. People actually not competent to serve within certain position, and based upon the political basis, and people will, the person will appoint people because they come from the party line. People actually sit within a position who have the credentials, who sent in a letter of intent, that which I highly appreciate. I think it is the best thing that she did, and we should commend her for that.
Thank you.
And I will also recommend to the president that most of the time, people who should be appointed in such positions, they should be vetted and they should sit within a position that at the end of the day, they will not be misplaced and will perform better because they fit within a position.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's take Thomas Kume. Thomas, go ahead. You're live on the show. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nelson, thank you. And good evening to all the panelists. So from the first talking point, I think we kept on discussing the issue about the CDC, and today we're hearing Jefferson Koji giving a strong position. You always having that habit of calling on people. He did it to the ministers, and now to their own party officials. Whereas I'm a problem. But my problem when George and Vasco always reaching this thing to the president. So I asked the question, what are Thomas Farah is a unity partisan? So they're refusing to even attack their own people, to speak the truth, but it's easier for them to channel to the president. I think they need to rethink. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your input. Let's take another call here from the WhatsApp. Hello, you're live. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nathan, how you doing?
Yes, sir. We're okay.
You know, I want to ask Liberian a question. Speaker McCarthy, when they were removing Speaker McCarthy, do the American people, how they call it, inform Liberian government, Liberians that we come and move Speaker McCarthy?
The ambassador?
You see, no, I said the speaker.
Oh, okay,
the former
okay.
speaker
Okay.
before
No, I thought you were
Johnson.
talking about the former
He's
ambassador.
right. The speaker name was Makaya.
See, I think we are a sovereign country. Nobody should come online and start threatening when you do this. The only thing I don't like is corruption for money to be involved. But whenever the speaker having to do something, there is a reason why they want to remove the speaker, according to them.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing we have to do, Nancy, is to sit and watch. What is the cause of what really happening to Fanatic Kofa? His own people, seditions. Now they are turning it around saying that, President, we are paying money. Why they can't wait for investigation? There is news around that the former President George Weah, him behind the thing because he don't speak of Fonati. And Jackie Benson, they thing on Spoon Network throughout. He started doing early justice study administration 2005 up to present.
Thank you.
Why now we wait? But everything, America. If you don't come in this country, that what? You have other countries that you can visit.
Thank you. Let's hold you there.
That's it,
Let's hold you there and take another person. Hello, your name and where you call from?
Good morning. This is Joshua.
Go ahead, sir.
I want to thank you people that are doing this work every night to talk and make we did really put understand our responsibility and duty.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I also want to say something that I've been struggling with almost 5 days now.
What's
on
that?
The Spoon Network. Yeah, we the pensioners, people can discover our own. This moment got 4 months now, we never get our money. You can't try to bring it to the public so that people hear 4 months pensioners. People making 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 4 months.
Yeah.
Our children are in school.
You know that's a great one. We would love to talk to you guys. So you can call the number on the screen after the show. Call tomorrow, call in the morning after the show. The number that's on the screen. All right. Let's take the conversation.
I'm not on video call, so I don't know who I'm using.
Okay.
So you can just test the number to me and beg you.
Okay, so let me do this. Let me do this. All right. Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking your number. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Hello, your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead quickly.
I'm with
Let's hear you.
I come from Mark County.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a silent listener almost 3 years for this program. For all your parents, all the young people that on this station, for each time they can they so again OA.
Oh.
And the Bible says you should speak and you will find. You should not the doors should be open to you. The same Bible says we tell the old people so you shall sit down. So close it up before I come there. CDC, there was coaches speaking, making statements, and I no more to the Liberian people, even the people that don't really right.
Thank you.
Nobody get out for Jealousy coaches and people. But what I want to say is, if you don't tell the old people, only old man you fly,
Thank
the
you.
new map. But hey, now do leave you and God.
Thank you. We want to hold the calls. Okay, let me just squeeze in this final person. Hello, quickly, please go ahead. Just take 30
Hello.
seconds. Yeah, go ahead.
My name is Timothy James. Calling from up in Woking.
Yeah, go ahead quickly, Timothy.
I just want to add up something to what you were saying before you could open the line. I heard my brother saying some of you got to make yourself available out there. I want him to first know that in this country currently we live, there are people that are picking and choosing. You getting it? Right now, today, we can see one another. We don't know who is who. But today in Liberia, people are picking and choosing. They not from the other party, the other person not from here. So they shouldn't be appointed.
Thank you.
And today in this country, there are people that are being in position and government will not qualify, but they keep them there.
Thank
but
you.
See, government will put here. Just behave, they put it down, publish you. Your reputation spoil for that. You think people keep misbehaving? People will not keep misbehaving.
I want to hold you
my
there.
brother, to my brother,
Thank
who
you.
I say we must respect the old folks. No one is disrespecting the old folks. But most of our
we lost you. I think something happened to your line. Folks, we're sorry.
Don't go down with the old people. Now what happened?
We can take more of your calls now because we can't take any more calls. That's all the time we have. So we can go ahead and do our opening.
Closing.
Josh, sorry, our closing. Yeah. So Josh, you can take over from here as I try to transition. Yeah.
I mean, you mute, Josh. We can hear you.
The day I will have an
Thank
opportunity
you.
to be a co-host, that will be good. One day. One day.
Yeah, Moba, can you go in the back? I want to free the place up a little bit.
But actually, you're not consistent on the program. I'm gonna tell that.
Joe, you and myself, you and myself be the last. You and myself be the last so close.
Definitely. So look, I just want to give Mr. Sunday the chance to do a closing. Mr. Sunday, please.
Well, thank you, Josh. Look, sentiment cannot be all Liberia. We come here, we express all our sentiment. You're attacking the old people. You sit on the old mat to apply the new mat. That's not how Liberia is going to be built. We're going to build Liberia when we have the efficiency and the productivity that we need. That's why we need to build our country, efficiency and productivity. You take a 70, 80, 90-year-old person who can barely wake up on time, who will not even wake up until after 12 p.m., who goes to bed as, just up 4 p.m., and you expect that person to be productive and efficient. I'm not saying no old person should serve, but there are areas that they could serve, not major positions that are required to move our country forward. So no one is against any old person. We are stating facts, what we need to move Liberia ahead. For our sister letter, I believe is the right thing. Again, that letter of intent is the right approach. We haven't seen in our country. I commend her for being brave and starting a process that we are not used to. I will hope, like what Anthony said, that the president will give her the opportunity to at least interview her. And if she's qualified based on the interview, let her be given a job. There are other Liberians, I'm sure, that are equally qualified, so maybe there should be an interview process. But she took a step that I really commend. For CDC, that is a CDC problem. What Jefferson coaches say they must come by. When if they don't come by, they will face his weight. That's their CDC problem. That's politics within the CDC party. It does not concern Liberia. It doesn't concern me. So let them handle it at the CDC level. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. Oh, Anthony, can you please do your closing?
Yeah, I'll just buttress my brother Sandy. Yes, what the lady did today with her letter. If you have any doubt in me, here's where I went to school. Here's where I work. Here's my thing. So now start fact checking this lady. You have no excuse today if you are this administration. Yes, where I went to school. Yes, where I did this, I did that. Start digging behind her and give her an opportunity for one-on-one interview. Let she present what she has. If you give me this role, yes, where I'm going to go. The first and foremost thing, I will evaluate this. I will reach out to the National Investment Commission. I will do extra. I mean, this lady is challenged, even though she wants the job, but she's also challenging the administration and saying, listen, I gave you this opportunity. Vet me. Here is my resume. Vet me and give me a chance. That is a very bold step, and only competent people do these things. She's not trying to take any back door. She's saying, I am who I am, and give me an opportunity. And Mr. President, please do the needful. And if she's qualified, the Senate will have no reason to deny her because you are already putting your stuff out there. This is the time now you can vet her. And I like what she did. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Anthony. That was the fastest completion of your closing. So I just want to move to my brother, Rima. Rima, can you do your closing, please?
Thank you, George. You're being so professional tonight. It's the best version of yourself. I hope you can keep it up. It's a compliment. It's a compliment.
Yeah, look, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. Go ahead.
It's a compliment. And it shows that you got multiple talents. You could also be a radio host and all
George,
that.
I probably you see what you saw.
Yeah,
He was thank you.
But let's go to the issue. I support Lila Kokoyu. This is somebody I know, and I know her a long time. She has been impressive since, and she continued to be. The last time I attended an event and she was there, she spoke. I could only watch with admiration. I hope she gets the job. I don't know about her professional background, all that she's done. I have not read her letter, but I saw her picture and I know her, so I'm rooting for her. And back to the issue of ageism. I agree with you, Sandy. Efficiency and productivity, that's what we need to build Liberia. And I believe it can come from every group of Liberians. Once they have the energy, once they have the expertise and they have the experience and the know-how, irrespective of age. But when we try to prejudice, when we try to stereotype, and when we start to speak ill of people only because of age, that's ageism, and I think it's distasteful. My brother said a lie, and I've heard him use the word lie every time I speak to come out, bro. Let's stop discussing the issue and putting our points and stop using the word loosely. But I think you misspoke when you used the word lie. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you. So, Brother Francis, please do your closing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure again, but every day in Liberia that's something. One, I would say, the old people that have been serving our country, they don't respect the young people. They don't respect the young people because they're the ones been running the country all these years. The young people grow up, see the old people, and then they copy from what the old people have been doing and do the same thing. So that's the problem. Nobody said old people can work in government. But what have they done over the time? Nothing. So what we come and talk about? Nobody disrespecting the old president. Nelson Mandela left president. He went to South Africa. He changed things. He was old when he left president. They even wanted to go for secretary, but I only do one term, and I will try to change things. That's an old man I respect the youth. Because he laid the foundation. Nobody said corruption in South Africa, but he rooted out most of the corruption. And the young people in South Africa today, they're doing things. Other countries around the world, why all old people can be the same? Like other old people in other countries, reformers in other countries. Look at the great United States again. Rather have former President Trump running for re-election. If he becomes president again, you think he's going to still recycle people from 4 years from when he was there the prior 4 years? No. He will bring different people. Even Barack Obama, his second 4 years, he changed a lot of people. He didn't bring the same recycle people from his first 4 years, and his first 4 years were very successful. Imagine coming from the great recession. Why couldn't he keep the same old group of people for the 4 years? No, he changed most of them. That's what people do. Not Liberia. No new person. Then God forbid you should be living outside of Liberia. You say, oh, you're outside there, you're not yet and suffering with all, they are just can't take job. But what about the young people that in Liberia suffering with y'all? That toy load are here to pay their school fee and get their education. Why can't you get the young people in Liberia chance? See the young people outside Liberia enjoying? Why can't you get young people in Liberia chance? But I can see grace pay there. They see all opponent. Be stealing poor money. They're not stealing enough. You all, why is you still stealing plenty of money for? Thank you, man.
Thank you, Brother Francis. Thank you so much. I just want to say, Brother Vasco, please.
Anyway, look, I enjoyed the conversation tonight about old people. So that while listening to my brother talk here, let me say that I'm laughing. Y'all look at one old man, you're being president. Then they may bring man, old man, they put it.
That's what happened with the young person before he was not nothing. That's what happened. Because the young man was nothing. So no other choice.
Give me chair.
Princess, please. The man go to the four folks who were praying. Oh, friend.
Y'all look at the man. What you expect I made to bring? Young people? Hey, that torso. You look at that man who are telling you right here. They may not fit to be president. You say, oh no, they make it. I know for the 2-year experience. They may go bring a seat. They hear people. They may bring all of man. I think he advisor on foreign affairs. He can be walking. They should be coming for a fool. Because a fool.
Let's stop that, man. Let's do that, man. Nancy, thank you. God bless you, my man.
No, but me loud. What, my baby?
No sugar,
you're not hearing. You're not hearing.
No sugar fit man walking the should be coming for a fool. I tell you, but man, John, I may stop here before I keep on out of this.
Thank you. Mother, please, man.
Yeah, thank you, man. But look, I know everybody bashing at the old people did. But look, listen. If you look at the present government, that would do hair count now. Like, because we keep
look, guys. In all fairness,
I do my closing back.
In all fairness, no, look, guys. What does age have to do with shoe fitting somebody?
You might have Vasco.
If we're not able to shoe,
Vasco, on a serious note, the Liberian people will judge you by what you say here. Vasco, regardless of your age, there's a shoe that will fit the 1-year-old, the 2-year-old, even the 65-year-old.
Everybody get a start.
So I don't know where you come from with that. You don't come here. You don't come here and make mockery of age or age. Age is a blessing. And Vasco, you're praying to age because you want to have that time where you can look at your children and grandchildren.
My brother, I see my brother.
But you said the shoe can fit the other people, the men walking shoe jumping for you. What does that have to do with
I'm telling my brother Francis to lead the old people. You bring the old president.
Vasco,
yeah.
Vasco, please, Pastor, thank you.
The man instigator. But let me do my closing, man.
When you
no. We Vasco, your time is up. George, go ahead.
Time is over. Yeah, the time is over. Go ahead.
Yeah. So look, when we do air count, right? The now in the government, we get a lot of young people in the government. A lot. We get a lot of young people in the government. So you shouldn't come here and be talking and say, oh, the old people, go make your count. Only the people that are around the president, you say yes, maybe the Asian, but you just say the people, the ministries and other places. There are a lot of young people in the government. So you shouldn't come here and say and he right to poor people who he think he feel that can gain ideas to do things. But to the ministries, show me anybody in the 70 or 75 in any ministry, functional ministry, ministry of what that names there, that name all the ministries, and show me one. You're not showing me somebody that about 75. All the people are there, the below that numbers. So you shouldn't come here and say the president put all the old people to various position and they. Joey out there, Joey put all the young people there. What they did. All we need to be talking here is productivity. Produce. That's what we're supposed to be saying here. We don't come here to be attacking old people. What they bring it to the table? If even you old, you young, if you can't produce, you're not competent to to work in the government. That's it. You got to produce. That's what make you a government official. You got to produce. You got to bring what the people elect you for, or select you, or the president select you to work in our identical government. What are you old? You young? All we want to produce the Liberian people goods. They say go buy, then you go. They say go buy salt. Then you go buy pepper. They want make you to be una. They we out there. All the young people that were there, what they did, they did nothing. They only went there to see someone that was poor. They care how rock. But today, look at them. They got money. They got money. They were in government for 6 years. The millionaires. Then you want to talk about old and young? No, let's stop that. Let us discuss
Thank
the
you.
issue
Thank you so much,
about
my brother.
producing.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Guys, it was a wonderful one. Just to do my closing, I just want to ask us here, let's think, where is the old map in our country? Where is the old map? What is the template that these old people have left us with for us to look at and be proud and say we can still keep them around to give us advice? Think about it, guys. It is easy to come up here and want to trumpet some philosophy about ageism or something, or coming from African background. My dad did not graduate from high school. He stopped in 11th grade. Here I am. Can you say my dad is better than me when it comes to innovation or anything? No. We have to look at the old map. Where is the old map that these people have left us, for which we'll continue to drag them along to take them to where we want to go, to serve as an impediment to us? Where is the old map? Think about it, guys. Think about it as Liberians tonight. Just open your mind for once and forget about this whole political thing and which party or which or this. Think about it. What has the people done? Looking at other countries around us. And that's why, look, I was listening to some comedy from in Jamaica, and he said the reason why he's suffering today because his forefather, they were too clever. When white people came to take them as slaves in America, they ran away in the bushes. Why Jay-Z, their grandfather, then they allowed themselves to go. Now Jay-Z living a better life. You see that? Our old people did not give us any template, any prototype to use now as a people to say, okay, these people, they can still make this country better. They did not do it for the past 100 years. And in our era, you want us to keep putting them there, and you want to justify to say, oh man, what our Bible has done for us as a nation. Our people are still taking bath in outside bathroom in this age. For you to have an inside bathroom is considered a luxury in Liberia. And then you come on here and want to lecture us about some age thing, and we are telling you that these people did not do well, so we don't want to have them around. We want to have new ideas. We want to have ideas that will, to make us to go forward. And that's what I like George Weah. President Weah did not make any Mamisi Kaba as minister proper. He put her there as assistant minister so she will be trained so that she can take the place of this person that is a minister.
Then I said, do where?
I said, my man, come on.
I said, do is competent. What kind of job I said, doing right now?
Yeah, exactly.
What he
produced is competent.
He produced?
He produced under the circumstances that he had. Now,
I mean, when you come produce, that factory?
You gotta be factory. Nobody.
My man, you guys were talking. I didn't interrupt. Look, Mama, please. No, I'm about to tell you. I make the rules now, man. I make the rules, man. Please. So, guys, we have to be intentional. And I want to thank my brother Sandy. What he said tonight was phenomenal. He said we cannot come here with sentiments. Sentiments can never help us anywhere. When you are sentimental, you can always miss the mark, because sentiments don't lead us anywhere good. We have to be intentional about our development. Liberia needs to go forward and not looking backwards, because we know that everything that we want in our country today lies in the young hands. And guess what? The population, the demographic in Liberia, the young people are almost 75% of the population. On the age is 25. So, gentlemen, we need to think about that and stop being sentimental when we come on the show and want to prove a point. Thank you. God bless you, and God bless Liberia.
So Nelson, your co-host, corrupted time. He spoke ×5 more than any person. That's corruption. Next time, please look into it. That's a time corruption.
We will organize.
But Nelson, just 1 minute, right? Just for the discourse.
You were just pinpointing the man, and they say make corruption.
No, I gave him his credit where it was due.
So, guys, we actually have to go. We have to go.
But Nelson, just a few seconds, right? I beg you, just a few seconds. Gentlemen, we have had youthful president and we have youthful government in our country. It hasn't done much. To be honest, we have had American officials who served more than one term under different presidents. So using that yardstick to chastise Liberia will not always, it can't serve. Let's use Hillary Clinton as an example.
Second round closing.
Thank you.
No,
we're having a
conversation.
You guys, we have to go. Guys, we have to go.
I'm the person with a dissenting opinion.
I want to say thanks to everyone. We will be back on the show on Monday. On Saturday, next Saturday, Anthony will be hosting the show. Anthony will be
I'll be at work.
I'll do it for you. Anthony, I'll do it for you. Don't worry.
But in that case, Vasco will co-host.
The following Saturday, they give it to me.
Bob, on your week from Monday to Friday, you still be busy, Anthony?
My schedule fluctuates. I'm
I understand.
So, but guys, I want to say it's been a great show. Let's hope we can be here again.
Vasco will check you if your time corrupt.
Until then, have a good night, everyone. And
thank you, Nessie. Let's take her up. Let's get her up the air.
Bye-bye.